Melbourne train history, 1981 to 2035. Going Loopy. The Melbourne Underground Rail Loop was first conceived in the 1920s to relieve Flinders Street Station, and by the 1960s, imbalances in demand at different ends of through-running lines meant inefficient use of limited track space. The City Loop will allow groups of lines to enter the city, go round one of the 4 single-track loops, and head back the way they came. Melbourne's population will more than double again after 1980, and a dramatic patronage increase in the 2000s will bring passenger traffic back to levels not seen since just after World War II. In the 21st century, the shrinking of the network will turn to expansion once again. The 26th of January, 1981. The Burnley and Caulfield loops open between Spencer Street and Richmond, with one intermediate station, Museum, later Melbourne Central. The Burnley Loop is used by the Alamein, Belgrave, Glen Waverley and Lilydale lines. The Caulfield Loop is used by the Cranbourne, Frankston, Pakenham and Sandringham lines. The 1st of June, 1981. Lyndhurst Station on the Cranbourne line closes. The 10th of June, 1981. Passenger services cease on the Stony Point line between Baxter and Stony Point. The line between Long Island Junction and Stony Point is officially closed on the 22nd of June. The rest of the line will remain open for goods traffic to Long Island Siding. The 15th of June, 1981. Passenger services cease on the Mornington line between Frankston and Mornington. The line between Frankston and Baxter will continue to be used for goods traffic to Long Island Siding. From 1999, the Mornington Tourist Railway will operate on part of the line. The 31st of July, 1981. The Inner Circle line between Royal Park and Fitzroy closes to all traffic. The 4th of October, 1981. White City Station on the Melton-Sunbury lines closes. Poor patronage prior to it being demolished as part of the Ashley Street grade separation didn't justify the cost of rebuilding the station. The 6th of December, 1981. The City Circle Loop opens between Flinders Street and Museum. The City Circle service uses the Clifton Hill Loop, but will eventually be crowded out by suburban demand and replaced by the City Circle tram. The 31st of October, 1982. The Clifton Hill Loop opens between Museum and Jolimont. The Clifton Hill Loop is used by the Hurstbridge and Mernda lines. The 31st of October, 1982. Ginifer Station opens on the Sunbury line. Ginifer Station was called Furlong during construction, but was renamed before opening. The 31st of December, 1982. By this date, Broadstore Siding is closed. Most of the alignment will become Meadowlink Linear Park. The 22nd of January, 1983. Parliament Station opens on the City Loop. The 1st of July, 1983. Vic Rail is broken up and its functions assigned to 2 new state bodies. The Metropolitan Transit Authority, the Met, adopting a green and gold livery, manages bus, tram and train services in Melbourne, with the Met Rail Division responsible for suburban heavy rail. The State Transport Authority, adopting the V-Line brand and eventually purple livery, manages freight and country passenger services. On the 1st of July, 1989, the 2 authorities will be merged into the Public Transport Corporation, with the Public Met and V-Line brands retained. The 27th of November, 1983. Electric services on the Werribee line are extended to Werribee. The line was to be electrified as far as Werribee Racecourse, and overhead stanchions were erected to the station, but wires never installed. The 26th of September, 1984. Following a change of government, passenger services on the Stony Point line resume between Frankston and Stony Point. Langwarrin Station remains closed. The 7th of January, 1985. The Northern Loop opens between Museum and North Melbourne. The Northern Loop is used by the Craigieburn-Sunbury, Upfield, Werribee and Williamstown lines. The 21st of January, 1985. What will become the Altona Loop line opens between Altona and Westona. The 21st of January, 1985. Mobiltown station on what will become the Altona Loop line closes. The 14th of April, 1985. The Altona Loop line opens between Westona and Laverton. The 14th of April, 1985. Paisley and Galvin stations on the Werribee line close. The 27th of May, 1985. Flagstaff station opens on the City Loop, marking the completion of the Melbourne Underground Rail Loop project. The 25th of March, 1987. The Williamstown line between Williamstown and Williamstown Pier closes. The 1st of August, 1987. The St Kilda line closes. The line will be converted to light rail and reopen as part of the tram network on the 21st of November, 1987. The 11th of October, 1987. The Port Melbourne line closes. The line will be converted to light rail and reopen as part of the tram network on the 18th of December, 1987. The 24th of July, 1993. The South Gippsland line, including the outer section of the Cranbourne line, closes to passenger traffic. Freight services will continue on parts of the line until 1999. The 1st of April, 1994. The Australian paper mill siding closes. Electric wiring on the siding had been dismantled on the 1st of June, 1988. March 1995. By this time, Werribee Racecourse Station on the Geelong line is effectively closed. The station is rendered inaccessible by tracks laid to its west as part of the Western Standard Gauge line to Adelaide, which will open in May 1995. The 24th of March, 1995. Electric services commence on the Cranbourne line between Dandenong and Cranbourne, with a new intermediate station, Marinda Park. The 23rd of May, 1995. The Western Standard Gauge line between Melbourne and Adelaide opens. The last major interstate connection to be standardised, the project includes conversion of the eastern track of the Brooklyn Loop line to dual broad standard gauge, and reconfiguration of the branch line into Tottenham Yard as a standard gauge only, three-way junction, joining the Yard and the Northeast and New Western Standard Gauge lines. (1996). Sometime this year, rail motor stopping place number 15 on the Stony Point line is renamed Mornington Station, a platform having been provided in November 1963. The 16th of February, 1997. Museum Station on the City Loop is renamed Melbourne Central. In anticipation of the relocation of the National Museum of Victoria the following July, the station is renamed for the shopping centre above it. The 1st of July, 1998. In preparation for privatisation, the electrified rail network is split into two operating companies. Hillside Trains, with red and dark blue livery, will operate the lines in the Burnley and Clifton Hill loops, the Flemington Racecourse line, and Flinders Street, Richmond and Spencer Street stations. Bayside Trains, with orange and dark green livery, will operate the lines in the Caulfield and Northern loops, and Flagstaff, Melbourne Central and Parliament stations. The company will also continue to operate electric services on the Gippsland line, and diesel services on the Stony Point line under contract with V-Line. The 1st of October, 1999. The franchise to operate Hillside Trains is awarded to Connex, and Bayside Trains is awarded to National Express. National Express immediately rebrands Bayside Trains M-Train, with green and blue livery. December 1999. By this time, the South Gippsland line beyond Cranbourne is closed to all traffic. The 1st of July, 2000. Hillside Trains is rebranded Connex, with yellow and blue livery. The 22nd of August, 2001. Electric services cease on the Gippsland line beyond Pakenham. Electrification had been cut back from Traralgon to Warragul in 1987, from Warragul to Bunyip in 1998, and finally between Bunyip and Pakenham. The 27th of January, 2002. Electric services on the Sunbury line are extended to a new station, Sydenham Water Gardens, with a new intermediate station, Keilor Plains. The existing Sydenham station closes. Sydenham Water Gardens was originally to be called Sydenham, but when naming rights were sold to the adjacent shopping centre, the hybrid name was adopted. The 26th of February, 2002. General Motors station on the Pakenham line closes. The factory had been closed and demolished in 1991, but the largely inaccessible station remained in operation for another 11 years. The 1st of December, 2002. The Victorian government takes control of M-Train Bayside trains. National Express walked away from its contract when it couldn't renegotiate mutually acceptable terms with the state government. The 18th of April, 2004. Melbourne's rail network is once again a single system when Connex is appointed sole operator, taking over the abandoned M-Train Bayside Trains franchise. The 13th of December, 2005. Spencer Street Station is renamed Southern Cross. The 22nd of July, 2007. Electric services on the Craigieburn line are extended to Craigieburn. The 21st of September, 2007. Roxburgh Park Station opens on the Craigieburn line, located just north of the closed Somerton Station. The 30th of November, 2009. The retendered franchise to operate Melbourne's rail network is awarded to the Metro Trains Melbourne Consortium, headed by MTR Corporation. The Metro brand is owned by the Victorian Government and is expected to be retained in future regardless of operator. The 6th of June, 2010. Coolaroo Station opens on the Craigieburn line. The 28th of November, 2011. The Mernda line reopens between Epping and the 2nd South Morang Station, formerly Rail Motor Stopping Place number 39. As part of the project, Epping Station is relocated north of the newly grade separated Cooper Street. The 22nd of April, 2012. Cardinia Road Station opens on the Pakenham line. The 22nd of April, 2012. Lynbrook Station opens on the Cranbourne line. The 18th of November, 2012. Electric services on the Sunbury line are extended to Sunbury. At about the same time, the name of Sydenham Water Gardens Station is simplified to Water Gardens. The 28th of April, 2013. Williams Landing Station opens on the Werribee line. The 14th of June, 2015. The unelectrified regional rail link connecting the Melton line at Deer Park Junction to the Geelong line at Manor Junction opens with 2 intermediate stations, Tarneet and Wyndham Vale. Regional rail link separates V-Line and Metro services between the city and both Sunshine and Werribee, freeing up capacity and increasing reliability. The 7th of October, 2016. The Somerton Link freight siding is effectively closed. The Ford plant closed on this date, and the siding will be unused and rapidly deteriorate. The 28th of January, 2017. Caroline Springs Station opens on the Melton Line. Caroline Springs was called Raven Hall during construction, but was renamed before opening. The 26th of November, 2017. Southland Station opens on the Frankston Line. The 26th of August, 2018. The Mernda Line reopens between the second South Morang Station and Mernda, with two intermediate stations, Middle Gorge, formerly the first South Morang, and Hawkstow, formerly Rail Motor Stopping Place No. 9. Middle Gorge Station was called Merrymead during construction, after nearby Merrymead Catholic College, but was renamed before opening as Victorian Place naming standards prohibit using a school name. The 1st of December, 2019. Cobblebank Station opens on the Melton Line, on the side of Rail Motor Stopping Place No. 65. Cobblebank Station was called To Learn during construction, but renamed before opening. The 17th of February, 2023. Surrey Hills and Mont Albert stations on the Belgrave-Lilydale lines close. As part of the removal of level crossings at Union and Mont Albert roads, the two stations will be replaced 3 months later by a single station called Union. The 13th of April, 2023. The spelling of Glen Huntly Station on the Frankston Line is changed back to 2 words, Glen Huntly. The 22nd of May, 2023. Union Station opens on the Belgrave-Lilydale lines. The 21st of June, 2024. Keon Park Station on the Mernda Line is relocated to the south side of Keon Parade. Part of level crossing removal works, the move better aligns the station with its residential catchment, located almost entirely south of the arterial road. The 1st of November, 2024. Electric services on the Pakenham Line are extended to East Pakenham. The new station allows V-Line services to bypass terminating metro trains. The 30th of November, 2025. Melbourne Metro Tunnel opens between Footscray on the Sunbury Line and Hawkesburn on the Cranbourne-Pakenham lines, with 5 intermediate stations, Arden, Parkville, State Library, Town Hall, and Anzac. Arden Station had been called North Melbourne during construction, but was renamed before opening. The existing North Melbourne station was to be renamed the more geographically accurate West Melbourne, but the current signalling system could not be configured for the change. Anzac Station is now the southernmost underground station on Earth. (2026). Sometime this year, West Tarneet Station will open on the Geelong Line, located to the east of Davis Road. (2033). Sometime this year, Airport Rail Link is expected to open between Sunshine on the Melton-Sunbury lines and Melbourne Airport, with 1 intermediate station, Keilor East. (2035). Sometime this year, Suburban Rail Loop East is expected to open, between SRL Cheltenham and SRL Box Hill, with 4 intermediate stations, SRL Clayton, SRL Monash, SRL Glen Waverley and SRL Burwood. SRL East is the first stage in a project to create a 90-kilometre orbital railway through the middle suburbs from Southland to Werribee by 2050. Suburban Rail Loop will be Melbourne's first standard gauge urban railway, and the first to be fully automated. When open, SRL Cheltenham will become the southernmost underground station on Earth. Coming next, Melbourne tram history.